Hello and welcome, Adam Thomas from Balancing Touch Reflexology. So good to see you and thanks for joining me today. Today I want to show you how to work the spine and also just find the spine on the feet, the hands, and the ears. Okay, so looking at the spine on the feet, with all the spines, this is where landmarks become very, very important so that you can find the right areas on everybody's foot, right? So first landmark we need to look at here is the nose, okay? And that's that little bumpy part right there. Next landmark we need to look for, it's actually not a landmark, but it's below the landmark, is kind of where the corner of the heel goes there. That's the bottom of the spine there. Okay, so that is the first spine. So the way that I work the spine is I have three different lines that I go up and down. Okay, the first one being the actual muscles of the spine. Okay, the next one I'll show you in a sec. So that is the first line, and what we do is we go straight down here to that one. Next line is going to be in slightly. In meaning moving up that way. Okay, so the difference is about a fingerprint or less. Okay, so from there, where the corner is there, just in. Okay, and then the third one is actually pushing in and following the bone of the ankle and then going up into there. Okay, so those are the three lines to work for the spine. But I want to just be very clear about where the cervical spine is. It's going to be found there. So I'm going to use the vertebrae line to show you where the landmarks line up and stuff. So nose, right there, because straight across from the nose is the top of the spine, right, in our body. So that's where we start up there. And then we're going to walk straight down to this part, which sticks out here. So where a bunion would be, or you know, the biggest, the highest, widest part of your foot, bones right there. This little peak here, like a mountain peak, that is the same as on the back of your neck here. You have a bone. That's the 7th cervical. Okay, so from the nose down. So when you're working along here and you're looking for sensitive spots, if you find something in there, that means that there's an issue in the neck, right, in the cervical spine, right? And then we have to go and feel for the landmark down here of the, we have the diaphragm line, right? So diaphragm line comes up there. And then we also have the waistline. So the waistline comes across to there. So we draw a straight line across there. So now you have the thoracic, right? So that's all the ribs. So that comes to there now, okay? And then we follow down, right? We get into the lumbar now. So below the waistline to the top of the hip line is the lumbar area. And then we have the sacral spine down here, okay? So it's all like that. So just searching along here with any technique that you use to find any type of discomfort, right? And the one that I like to use too is going up this way, okay? And so we're going around the bend here, so we're into lumbar, and then we go out up the sacrum there too. So that's an extra little point that you can work. So it's down here, but it's also up here as well, okay? So all these areas here are related to the sacrum. When we come up to lumbar here, when we get into this part of the foot, right? And then we get up into the thoracic and then the cervical. So that's the spine there. And what you want to do with this is, search for any type of tightness, any type of discomfort, and work it out. Okay, so if you find something, this tends to be a pretty sensitive spot up here. So you just work it out, meaning just work around the area, work right on the area, and then work around the spine a bit more and come back to that area, right? So that is the spine found on the foot. Okay, and coming over to the hand now, the spine is going to be found on the thumb. And again, we are going to start where the nose is. And there's not a huge, if you look at the pad of the thumb here, there's not a huge bump out like the toe. But it is the same thing. It's across from the nail bed, right there. And then to find the cervical spine, all you do is you go down to this first joint here, okay? So you walk down and there. So you'll notice that the area is quite a bit smaller than on the feet, right? Then the next joint down is the thoracic, which are all your ribs. And then you're going to go down to the lumbar, and then you're going to go down to the sacrum, right? And then you have the very, very bottom, the coccyx there, right at the very, very tip there. So with this one, it's a little bit easier, right? You can kind of just search along here. The area is smaller, and you just search along here to find any discomfort or tightness or anything like that. Just anything out of the ordinary, and you can work it out. With this one, I don't really have 3 really distinct lines that I go up, but I just work the whole area really well. So on the side of the thumb here, I'll work like that, this whole area here. Sometimes I'll even dip over to this side just to make sure that I get any type of spine related issues, right? So that's what it looks like on the hand, okay? Right down to here. Good. Now we come to the ear. Now this one is a little bit more, well, it's a smaller area. So, but there are some landmarks that I want to go over, and I'm going to use this little pointer that I got with the little ear seed kit. It seems to be a really good one. It's got a little spring in it. But the spine is found right on this part here, which is called the antihelix. Okay? So in this model, the body is actually upside down. So you're going to find the head here, and then the body and the feet and the knees and stuff are all up here. Okay? And the spine curls back this way. Okay? So we're going to go the opposite way. Or actually, I could keep it the same, just to keep it relatively the same here. So what we have here is the occipital ridge here. And so the top of the spine, the cervical spine, is in this area right here. Let me just zoom in a little bit here. There we go. So where this part, this is a nice little landmark here. That is the occipital ridge. And then you go up to this where it bends the corner there. This is where you're going to find the cervical spine. Okay, so you have all these little points along here. So if you have a little pointer like this, you can see if any of these points are sensitive, and then you'll know that there's an issue in the cervical spine here. Then we have the thoracic area, which is right in here. So you can see this little bump here, possibly, but there's a bump there, and that's where the 7th cervical is, okay? Up to the occipital ridge there. Then from there up to this point, you can see another little division here, where it turns the corner. That is now the thoracic part, okay? So again, you can find any type of little discomfort in that area, and that would be related to the thoracic. Then we come up here to the lumbar. So from that point up until this point, we get the lumbar section. Okay, so again, just feel along there. Then we get into the sacrum, which is all this area, all the way, I'll just try and lift this up, all the way into there. Okay, which comes along there. So a lot of people that have problems with sciatica and stuff, there's a point right here that will be sensitive. Okay, so there's the map there. So I'll try and go over it again. So you have from where it goes in here all the way to this point here. You have the sacrum, then you have the lumbar, this other little indication right here. See, it sort of bends there. And then you have the thoracic to that point there, and then you go up to where this little area is, right in here. And that will give you the occipital ridge. So there is the whole spine, and you can use your little finder or you can use your fingers to find little areas of tenderness, and you can just work it. But if you don't have a tool like this, you can just use your thumb. And also on the back here, if I match up my index finger with my thumb and I massage down the spine like this, you're also working the back of the ear as well, so you can put pressure on both sides, and that is also working the ear, the spine, because there's also the spine on the direct opposite side of this, right? So it's hard to see, it's easier to feel, but working the spine on the ears, the hands, and the feet will give you just 3 more tools and 3 more attacks basically on being able to relieve pain or discomfort in your clients. So hopefully that helps. So there you go. That's how you can work the spine on 3 different areas of the body, right? So in reflexology, the feet are really popular, you see it everywhere, the hands and the ears, right? So now you know where to find the spine on all 3 areas. And having all 3 areas is a really great way to enhance your reflexology, right? So a lot of people just do foot reflexology and they do the whole session, or they just do hand reflexology, or they just do ear reflexology, right? But why not combine all of them, right? So if somebody comes to you with, for example, any type of spine pain or things like that, you could actually, in a session, because I have set up on a bed here, right, like a massage table, I have access to all 3 areas, right, with quite ease. I also use a La Fuma chair most of the time, and yeah, you can also have access as well in the chair. I thought for this video I would show you on the massage table because it's a little bit easier for me to maneuver and get the camera where it needs to be, right? So that's why I did it that way. But you can now work those 3 areas, right? And it's also really good because in reflexology we tend to work an area 3 times. 3 times, right? So for example, if you're working on a point, you would work it, 1, 2, 3, and then do 2 more sets of that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? To work a full session. So what you could do is you could do something like you could work the spine on the feet, and then you can go work the spine on the hands, and then you can go work the spine on the ears, and see if there's a change, right? Some clients will say, oh yeah, there's, my pain has gone down, I don't know, 20%, something like that. And then you can start back at the feet again, do a second round, feet, hands, ears, and see if there's a change. And most likely there will be. And then if you want it to go down further, it's really great to do it a 3rd round again, right? So you can kind of think of it that way, and that can be your session rather than, but also than sticking with just the feet, right? Or just the hands or just the ears. So you can kind of incorporate it that way. Just an idea. So hopefully that was helpful. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And remember to keep those feet, hands, and ears happy. Bye-bye. Let me know what you thought of this video by leaving a comment below. Any type of feedback can be useful. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. And if you found it useful, feel free to share it with anybody who might be interested. Make sure that you have subscribed to this channel if you haven't already. And make sure that you hit, or better yet, step on that bell icon so you know when the next video is coming out. And if you have some more time, why don't you check out some other videos? Till next time, this is Adam Thomas from balancingtouch.ca.